Yep, I'll just leave mine right on top of yours and do my little opening spiel and then turn it over to you and then KT and then I guess Tom, the two Toms. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I am not District Attorney David M. Hoovler. Dave is involved in a family obligation today and couldn't make it to this press conference. I'm Bob Conflitti. I am Executive Assistant District Attorney and Counsel to District Attorney Hoovler. Welcome, everyone. We wanted to have a little press conference to emphasize safety this summer. We all know that we're coming out of a year and a half of the COVID pandemic. A lot of people are going to want to get together. A lot of people are, rightfully so, want to get together, share time with each other. We've all been cooped up for much of a year by executive order from the governor. The time has come for us to all get back together. Our point here today is to make sure that when people do get back together, that we do it smart, that we use our heads, that we don't that we're not reckless in the way we deal with each other and in our summertime activities. So we wanted to emphasize a few things about some safety issues this summer. I'll mention a few, and then I'll turn it over to some of my colleagues up here. I guess just to introduce everybody, I'm probably going to miss about 5 people, but I'm going to give it a shot here anyway. We're joined by Major Paul DeQuarto from the New York State Police. He's the new commander of Troop F, covering this side of the river, Lower Hudson Valley. Also from the State Police, Captain Peter Sirigliano, who is the zone commander for Zone 2, which basically covers Rockland and Orange counties. We're joined by, right behind me, Kenneth Jones, who's the undersheriff of Orange County. We are joined by Deputy Chief Frank Basile from the Town of Highlands Police Department. We are joined by Sergeant Alan Faust from the Town of Goshen Police Department right here. Chief Dan Dollinger from the Town of Chester Police Department, Chief Darwin Guzman, and Sergeant Doug Kraus from the Village of Monroe Police Department, all the way across the street. Did I miss anybody yet? Yes, I did. And 2 Toms. Tom Kennedy from Dana Distributors and Tom O'Toole, who is the owner and our host today. And also happens to be the president of the Orange County Restaurant and Tavern Owners Association. So we're going to be speaking a little bit about summer safety for the next few minutes. I'll start with just some general thoughts. 4 areas I think we want to emphasize as far as summer safety. One has to do with impaired driving. It is still illegal, it is still dangerous to operate a motor vehicle or a boat while you're under the influence of any substance, whether it's alcohol, whether it's prescription drugs, or whether, especially important now, marijuana. You may all know that marijuana for adult use and adult possession has recently just been legalized in New York State. That doesn't make it any less dangerous to get behind the wheel of a vehicle when you're under the influence of marijuana. We in law enforcement still take those cases very, very, very seriously. So, I mean, for your risk yourself if you're under the influence of any kind of substance. You're at risk from other drivers, so you need to be vigilant of other drivers for the same reason, because they may be under the influence of some substance. And you need to be vigilant of law enforcement, because these officers and my office are still out there enforcing the impaired driving laws to the extent that we can. Second thing to think about is water sports. Dave Hoovler just the other day mentioned to me that there were 3 drownings on the Delaware River just last weekend, I believe, was what he quoted to me. Basically people who weren't using their heads, weren't wearing life jackets, might have been having too much to drink or smoke or whatever the case might have been. We need to be especially vigilant about water sports, making sure that we're wearing life jackets, respecting the safety rules of our water sports, using safe boating practices. Third area is fire safety. People like at this time of year like bonfires, and we like to have fire pits, and people are using grills and smokers. It's especially important that we exercise care in dealing with fire in those situations, especially care when we're dealing with fire around children. And then finally, fireworks. Almost like fire, slightly different. Fireworks, only fireworks that are legal in New York State. Basically, that means sparklers. I'll certainly let these gentlemen who enforce that directly comment on that or second guess me on what's legal, but my understanding is that really we're talking about sparklers being the only thing that's legal in New York State. But whether you're using legal fireworks or violating the law and using illegal fireworks, you need to be careful, because fireworks can injure or kill people, and that you need to be especially careful when using fireworks around children. Again, it's going to be a summer where we rightfully come back together and enjoy each other's company, but we need to make sure that we all do it in a way that's not reckless, in a way where we use our heads. All right, let me at this point turn it over to Major DeQuarto, the new commander of State Police Troop F.
Thank you and good morning. I'm Major Paul DeQuarto, the new Troop F commander. With summer fully here and life starting to get back to normal, we want everyone to enjoy the upcoming holidays, but we certainly want them to do it safely. Safety has been our top priority, whether it's patrolling our roadways or answering the many calls for service in our communities. Our goal is to protect and serve the people of New York State. Today, I'd like to focus on a common threat on our roadways, and we continually fight it. It's the impaired driving. Hundreds of people are killed and thousands are injured as a result of drug-impaired and alcohol-related crashes each year. All members of law enforcement witnessed firsthand the devastating and completely avoidable tragedies that result from impaired driving. Avoidable because impaired driving is a choice. When someone makes the choice to drive after using alcohol or drugs, they are endangering the lives of everyone on the road, including themselves. There's no excuse for driving impaired. Call a friend or a family member. Call a taxi. Call a ride-sharing service. If you're going to drink, make a plan for a safe ride home before you go out. Our hope is to one day not have to arrest a driver for being drunk, and to never again to knock on a door and tell a mother, a father, a family member that their loved one is not coming home. Education, events like this, and enforcement, our troopers and officers out on the road, are both designed to deter dangerous behavior. Together, we can make people think twice before drinking and getting behind the wheel and driving and operating a motor vehicle or a vessel. Remember, driving is a privilege. It's not a right. Thank you, and please be safe.
I'm going to turn it over to Under Sheriff Ken Jones.
Well, thank you. We're about to celebrate the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the founding document of the greatest free country in the history of the world. With that comes, rightfully so, celebration. But we all have to make choices in our life, whether we're going to celebrate responsibly or celebrate recklessly. No matter what you're doing, whether you're having a picnic at your house, whether you're rafting, kayaking, fishing, and all the innumerable things you can do to celebrate in this country, it's about choices that you make. If you choose to imbibe in intoxicating substances, make sure that you have a plan in order to get yourself home safely, keeping your family safe, and most importantly, other families safe. Don't make the mistake of thinking you can make it home, because you can't. Law enforcement around this county has stepped up patrols in order to try and intercept tragedy before it occurs. So don't bring tragedy to your family, don't bring it to other families. Make it responsible choices for you, and have a great Thank you.
Tom Kennedy from Dana Distributors.
Good morning. Welcome to the press conference. We've been working in partnership with the local police, state police, and the local district attorney's office. Dana Distributors has been around about 51 years now. I'm the general sales manager of Dana Distributors. This 4th of July, we have much to celebrate. After more than spent a year apart from the pandemic, Americans everywhere are looking forward to finally gather with loved ones to celebrate the Independence Day with parades, cookouts, fireworks. As the vaccination rates increase and bars and restaurants are ready to reopen, now more than ever, we're looking forward to brighter days ahead. If you're planning to toast a pivotal moment of our country by cracking a cold one, we hope that you'll join us in the pledge to keep our celebration and our lives safe by hydrating between buds and planning ahead for safe rides home. That's via Uber, Lyft, or other programs of just choosing somebody to be the responsible person going out. We know that drunk driving accidents increase during holiday weeks, during warm weather, but we also know drunk driving is 100% preventable. Whether you're a called cab, a rideshare service, or use public transportation, or designated driver for home, make sure you do your part to keep loved ones safe and on the roads. Safe this holiday weekend. For more than 35 years, Anheuser-Busch and its partners, Dana Distributors, have invested more than $1 billion in responsible drinking initiatives and community-based programs to prevent underage drinking, impaired driving, and harmful use of alcohol. We're proud to work alongside Anheuser-Busch and the local law enforcement and local community and can enjoy America's birthday with their friends and family closest to them. As we reflect on the meaning of the holiday after a tough year, we hope you join us in resolving and to drink wiser. Wishing you a safe and festive 4th of July. God bless.
And finally, Tom O'Toole, our host and the president of the Orange County Restaurant and Tavern Owners Association.
Good afternoon. First and foremost, we'd like to, on behalf of the association, Orange County Restaurant Tavern Association, we'd like to wish everyone a happy and safe 4th of July holiday. At the same time, we'd like to join and remind everybody, please use whatever public transportation, Lyft, Uber, a local cab. Please designate a driver and get yourselves home responsibly. Enjoy the holiday, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here today. Thank you.
Okay, that's our presentation. I don't know if anybody has any questions of me or any of the chiefs or our civilian guests.
Why was it important to deliver this message here?
Well, we were invited here for one thing by Mr. O'Toole, but also because of his role as president. I'm sorry, you're right. We were invited here by Mr. O'Toole, but it was also important that we believe that the Restaurant and Tavern Owners Association, they have a role in assisting, especially with issues like drunk driving, and the message coming from them, I think, is an important message. So that was part of the reason for why we decided to have this here.
What kind of Friday night? What kind of weekend are you expecting?
Thank you. We know that being a busy weekend and everybody finally being able to get back out and support, be with family and support local businesses, we're hoping for a great weekend, and we're hoping for a safe weekend.
What do you do as a bar owner if you see a situation that you can prevent? Do you help people arrange rides home if they're just sloppy?
Well, absolutely. I mean, part of being having the privilege of being a restaurant and a bar owner is having the responsibility of making sure that you're getting your patrons home safely and that they're acting and responsible. So part of what we do as bar owners and restaurant owners, part of, as what we said, our responsibility is to get our people home safe. So we make sure that, especially on a weekend, and any weekend or busy night, making sure that people have ways of getting home, some type of a designated driver. We make sure that we're constantly checking on different rideshare programs to make sure that there are cabs or cars in the area that can get people home safe. And again, it's the responsibility of the great people, the bartenders and the waiter and wait staff that work for you to make sure that we're on top of it, that we're making sure that everybody's doing this responsibly and they have a plan to get home.
Will you cut people off if you feel that they're too intoxicated at some point?
That is your responsibility as a liquor license holder. It is your responsibility that if you feel that somebody has gone too far or has gone over the line, it's our responsibility as a liquor license holder to be sure that to stop them or to cut them off and make sure that they have a safe ride home. Thank you.
One other thing to touch on is this is just about driving. It's driving boats. It's very important. Everybody's careful. All right, playing with fireworks, drinking. Please be careful with that. Our beverages are meant to be enjoyed responsibly for everybody over 21. Bar owners, restaurants, right? We're not looking to hurt anybody, but we want everybody to enjoy themselves and be proactive. We want to be part of the solution, not the problem. So again, boater safety is very key during this holiday.
Does anybody think that because of the pandemic and everybody's been pent up for so long that there may be extra exuberance this holiday season? Do you think that people are going to be a little bit over the top in terms of how they party? Anybody have any feeling about that?
I certainly have a feeling that that's going to happen. Sorry. I certainly have a feeling that's going to happen. People, like as I said, people have been cooped up. It's easing now, but for a year there, we were cooped up by the governor's order and by the pandemic, and I fully expect people to party hardier than average this year, and that's kind of importance of giving you all this message today.
I have a question.